Advice for the right honourable gentleman. Look behind you. They're not impressed and neither's the country.
Point of order, Sir Patrick McLaughlin.
Mr. Speaker, you may not have seen during the exchanges in Prime Minister's questions that when the Leader of the Opposition sat down, he muttered words which were quite clearly visible, accusing the Prime Minister of being a stupid woman.
Scary. It's about to be legendary. Yeah, we're gonna be legend. Gonna teach them all a lesson. Got this feeling in our souls we carry. It's about to be legendary.
Good evening and welcome to CNT News. My name is Kami Sutra and today is Friday the 21st of December. In a week where the public have been fortunate enough to have been privy to some of the ongoing debates happening in our world today. Starting with Donald Trump, Congress and the House of Representatives. And the debate was...
You have the Senate.
I have the White House. The White House is done. And the House would give me the vote if I wanted it. But I can't because I need, Nancy, I need 3 votes from Chuck.
Each and every one of them looking like complete fucking idiots, including Mike Pence, who seemed to have his mind on other things.
We need border security. It's very simple. We need border security. People are pouring into our country, including terrorists. We have terrorists. We fought 10 terrorists over the last year. 10. Still remains
within the sound of silence.
And then we have the ongoing Brexit debacle. Yes, which took a turn for the worse this week, as chief EU negotiator Jean-Claude Juncker referred to Theresa May as nebulous. Juncker then had to feel Theresa May's wrath, with an argument breaking out, but he denied the accusation. I mean, he probably forgot he had said that. The statement was made after a big dinner. Amazing how words like wall and nebulous can suddenly become so offensive. At least those are real words, however. Something which French province leader Justin Trudeau certainly seems to struggle with.
So that's why we came here today to ask you to also look into the policies that religious charitable organizations have in our legislation so that it can also be changed, because maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to look into
we like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because it's more inclusive.
There we go, exactly. Yes, thank you.
We can all learn from each other.
Yes, remember that. Apparently, Justin wasn't just inventing the term people kind back then. No, he was also mansplaining. Because you can't win when you get into bed with social justice. Yes, it's no longer mankind, it's now people kind. And similarly, it's no longer gingerbread man, it's now gingerbread person. Because that is going to combat sexism. Well, it is, according to the Scottish Parliament. Yes, who believe the term gingerbread man may cause offence. And how exactly does one quantify this success? I mean, how do you hold these people accountable when they're so fucking nebulous? Yes. Maybe it's got something to do with 1 in 3 women who work at the Scottish Parliament claim to have been victim of sexual harassment. Yes, it certainly sounds like the Scottish Parliament are sweeping more than gingerbread crumbs under the carpet. And it's not only festive biscuits that the PC Brigade have in their sights. No, according to a recent survey, some people believe Santa should be rebranded to be female or gender neutral. These people are fucking idiots. Yes, they are. Gender neutral? Isn't that an oxymoron? Anyway, there is no reason whatsoever that Santa needs to be female or needs to be gender neutral. Unless, of course, there's a group of women that don't like the fact that men have a cultural icon that they don't. Although only 27% of people surveyed believe Santa needs modernising, we can pretty much guarantee the majority will be overlooked, as minorities deserve to be heard. Yes? Certainly adds a different context to Santa's catchphrase, ho ho ho. Yes, in a week like this, you need a news source you can rely on. A news source that puts you at the centre of the story. And we at CNT, together with you, we aim to make fake news great again. Why the fuck is this here? Why the fuck is this here? It's the 21st of December. It's no fucking Christmas, so don't fucking start. Now, Prosecco. At least it's not French. Now, if we take a quick look across the world today, there can be little doubt that the world's leaders are hard at work. Okay, maybe not. However, one world leader is always working hard because he has a religion to manipulate. He has a religion to propagate. Yes, this week, the Pope celebrated his birthday by having a little party and inviting some sick children for his entertainment. Jesus, that sounds like something out of WikiLeaks. I can only imagine what Alex Jones would say.
Need to complain. They should complain about the children being effed with. God, not me showing you. You think I like seeing this crap? You think it doesn't piss me off? Let me tell you, I'm ready to kill people. I'm sick of this. Not literally. The point is, I'm getting sick of this crap.
Anyway, the party kicked off like tomorrow was the rapture, with the Pope receiving a huge cake, before then taking money from the sick children. The sick children who were then led to the nearest confessional. Now, why would the Pope have to take money from sick children? I mean, the Vatican is already the wealthiest company in the world. They already own the world's finest jewellery, the world's finest paintings, and the world's best telescopes. Why on earth did the Vatican own telescopes? Anyway, for these answers, and hopefully more, let's pass to Wendy Applebottom.
Thank you, Cammie. That's right. Last week, I learned that Pope Francis was trying to battle altitude sickness with a very special tea. The main ingredient in that tea? Coca leaves, which just happens to be the main ingredient in cocaine. As the first Jesuit pope of the Catholic Church, he's already gone against the grain by assuming a higher power. But he's also, apparently, going against his vows of poverty.
Pope Francis?
Yes, my son.
There's no easy way to put this, so I'll just come right out with it. Do you guys in the Vatican use cocaine?
Justice!
Oh, my son, you must be talking about last week's surprise delivery. I am very angry about that.
I can imagine the last thing the Vatican needs right now is a drug scandal.
Cocaine in the Vatican is one thing, but condoms. Contraception is the devil's work.
An anonymous source has told me that the Pope has recently invested in futures of coca leaves. He was also quoted telling the Bolivian minister that he wanted to follow their traditional method of chewing on coca leaves. I've also heard that there have been secret meetings to actually add coca leaves to the recipe of communion wafers.
As they have done for more than 100 years, the nuns also play a key role in the Catholic Mass. They make communion wafers. The sisters are now busy with their most important task ever. They're producing thousands of hosts for the outdoor Mass in Philadelphia.
It's a very special product.
There are two motives for this. One, to make the Pope more money, and two, to increase weekly attendance at Mass. Meteorologist Wendy Applebottom, back to you, Cammie.
Wendy, thank you. Wendy Applebottom reporting there. Now, from one band of idiots to another band of idiots. Yes, the band Maroon 5 is struggling to find acts to perform with them at the upcoming halftime show at the Super Bowl, largely due to the ongoing NFL feud with Colin Kaepernick. The band have reached out to half a dozen or so artists, but to no avail. It seems the Kaepernick effect has really left its mark, with critics stating that the halftime show is now the least wanted gig in music. Yes, Kaepernick stirred controversy by taking a knee during the American national anthem to protest against police brutality. He then filed a grievance with the NFL. Talk about making a tit of yourself on the world stage. The band Maroon 5, however, have reportedly approached Cardi B, who has yet to accept their offer. Other artists reportedly considered for the gig were Andre 3000 of Outkast, Usher, Lauryn Hill, and Nicki Minaj, whoever the fuck those people are. Similarly, Rihanna is said to have refused the offer to show support to Kaepernick. Which ironically is where we're going to turn to a reporter who similarly has been refused by Rihanna on a number of occasions. So much so, he now has a restraining order. Yes, let's pass to Barnaby Frickleton.
Thank you, Cammie, and this week I come to you from Atlanta, Georgia, site of the 2019 Super Bowl. And the halftime show is a huge controversy.
Hurry up, take it to go by the end of this song.
Choose your music.
Choose your team.
Choose to be different.
Choose to be independent.
Choose your faith.
Choose to care.
Choose to pursue your dreams.
The once coveted halftime show, possibly the greatest musical gig in history, has now become the least wanted. And I'll tell you why. In its infinite wisdom, Cammie, the NFL, an ultra-rich organization dominated by white men, has chosen to have Maroon 5 as the guest in the 2019 Super Bowl halftime show. This is spectacular.
Watch your step, cause if I do, you'll need a miracle. Made me try, made me wonder why I'm even here. This double vision I was seeing, finally clear. Want to stay, but you know very well I want you gone. The fucking trend, that I am walking on. And it was cold outside.
Yes, the NFL, with all its money and all its power and all the consultants they can buy, didn't consider looking for a local musician in what is commonly considered the capital of African American music. Yes, Atlanta, Cammy.
Late in the midnight hour, I talk to my God and He gives me joy in my soul. I can see one of these old mornings.
That's right, the NFL could have chosen literally hundreds of other acts. Lauryn Hill, Mary J. Blige, Kanye West, Usher, Outkast. If we really wanted to get hyper-local, just choose Outkast. But no, they brought in Maroon 5. And now Maroon 5 is realizing this may be a terrible gig. No, Cammy, we don't know how this is going to turn out. One thing we do know for sure is it's going to be fun to watch the NFL deal with another public relations crisis, likely poorly. And this is what happens when you choose a bunch of white guys to sing in Atlanta.
Barnaby, thank you. Barnaby Frickleton reporting there. That's not real football. That's not real football. Now, as I go listen to a little bit of Nicki Minaj, we'll be back after these with the news. And we're back. I'll tell you something by the way. See this Prosecco? It's not bad. It's not bad actually. See it being a wee replacement to the beer. Makes me piss like a racehorse though. Now, as we mentioned at the top of the show, it's been a tough week for Theresa May this week. If she's not picking fights with Europe's elite, then she's fighting fights from within her own party. Yes, this week the UK Prime Minister had to face a vote of no confidence that came from within her own party. And the results were...
The result of the ballot held this evening is that the Parliamentary Party does have confidence.
What a bunch of fucking arseholes. Yes, she won. It turns out her own party do actually have confidence in her. Well, kind of. The Prime Minister won the vote of confidence with a majority of 200 votes for, as opposed to 117 votes against. There's also the fact that the Prime Minister amassed votes of support from Tory members on her payroll, and only the Tory members on her payroll. It's a bit like you're... I mean, look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is the kind of shit that we... It's a bit like your father winning a vote of confidence as being head of the family, but not receiving a vote from your mother and your sister. Yes, the real vote of confidence for Mrs. May will arrive in January, apparently. And unless her Project Fear is successful, the Prime Minister may want to expect disappointment, which is where we're going to pass to London to catch up with Sharon Breaknews.
Yes, that's right, Cammy. It's been an interesting turn of events here in London as CNT reports on the latest to do with the confidence vote. Now, as you can understand, I'm no stranger to getting phone calls from very desperate politicians late into the night asking for my advice on their party politics. Now, when I spoke with Theresa May, I did give her some ideas of how she could open up her keynote presentation at the Tory conference. But the Theresa May I spoke with last night revealed a much more anxious and, if not reflective, Prime Minister who was genuinely concerned that she was unable to deliver the promise of Brexit, which is what her people voted for. Now, this is where I gave her some ideas, some recommendations, and some strategies, if you will, based on my observation and my experience with Australian Prime Ministers. Cammy, as you know, Australia is no stranger to leadership spills. After all, we change our Prime Ministers as often as we change our underwear. Now, this is where I gave her some advice that I had picked up from Australian ex-Prime Minister Tony Abbott. And I said to her, Therese, mate, you got to think about it as unfinished business. This is her opportunity now to start agitating from within. This is her opportunity to start creating chaos from within the ranks and also to approach the more rabid elements of the media, people like myself, to do her bidding for her. So this is an opportunity for... Oh, hang on, Mike, I've got a phone call. It's Tony. Tony, what is it? What do you want? I'm doing a report. She got 200 votes. Oh, so she's in. Well, that's more than you did, you idiot. No, she doesn't need your consulting anymore. Bloody hell, leave me alone. What are you doing? Oh, shit. Sharon Breaknews, nothing to report, CNT.
Shazza, thank you. This is quite good, this, by the way. It was quite good. Now, the weaponisation of language is no longer only a sword of Damocles dangling over your head. No, it has now been used as a stick to beat you with. Yes, veganism is growing in popularity, which ironically could mean the death of some of your favourite meat-related sayings. Yes, it's no longer about grabbing the bull by the horns, and it's a lot more about grabbing the flower by the thorns. Jesus. Dr. Sharina Hamza of Swansea University claims that the rise in veganism may see meaty language go the way of the dodo. Now, the doctor may be flogging a dead horse here. However, it is another example of people not only attacking your freedom of speech, but attempting to affect your freedom of thought. Speaking of freedom of thought, many of you have been asking the whereabouts of Crystal Waters. Okay, maybe only Barnaby has been asking the whereabouts of Crystal Waters, but we thought we would fill you in nonetheless. Crystal is off bettering herself, trying to become the best damned reporter she can be, which is probably going to take a while. So, to fill in for her this week and proving that half a loaf is indeed better than gluten-free bread, let's pass to Winston Akundi.
Snowflakes keep falling on my head. Oh, it should be a good report for me. So, Steve, you are supposed to count in with your fingers. 5, 4. And I treat you when you say nothing. I have told you time and time again. This is my chance. Crystal cannot make it. This is my chance to report. Huh? You know the report. We have gone over and over, Steve. Now we don't have time. Huh? Thank you, Kami. Winston Akunde here, reporting on behalf of Crystal Waters down here at the University of Swansea. A recent rise in veganism has seen a study by Dr. Sharina Hamza say meaty metaphors must be dethroned for more vegan-friendly metaphors. Like meaty metaphors like bringing home the bacon or killing two birds with one stone or can of worms must be changed for metaphors such as taking the flower by the thorns or bringing home the bagel or even feeding two birds with one scone. So we're out of time? Steve, you see, if you don't call me in, we won't have time for this thing. I can't. Anyway, you can edit this, yeah? Okay, Winston Akunde reporting on behalf of Crystal Waters down here at the University of Swansea. Over to you.
Winston, thank you. Winston Akunde reporting there. Why do you keep putting this here? No means no. And finally tonight, yes, we all know it's the most wonderful time of the year, where people across the planet down tools and take off their stockings and hang up their stockings in preparation for the festive period. Now, year after year, we are told that so many of us overlook the true meaning of Christmas, which is complete bollocks, because year after year, we are constantly reminded that Christmas is about Jesus and stuff. How can it be said that anyone could forget the true meaning of Christmas? What with the constant nativity scenes, the star in the sky, the three wise men, not to mention the good book pushed in our faces at every opportunity. Forget there's more chance of Mary getting a hotel in Bethlehem. And to show that we all know what the true meaning of Christmas is, it's time to pass ho-ho-hover to Trentstone.
Thanks, Cammy. The signs of the season are everywhere. And that means it's a time to remember the real meaning of Christmas. Jesus. On that day in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, almost 110 years ago, baby Jesus was born. And he sent a message of generosity, giving, and greed to all the world.
For Christmas! I was waiting a whole year and I got $50!
Yes, no matter where you look this holiday season, you're reminded of Jesus. He's everywhere. Here, 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 here.
Oh!
It wasn't always like this. For the first 19 centuries, a heathen god was worshipped, and his book was boring. So American Christians began and won a war on Christmas. And what was once a sad message of peace and charity has been replaced by the blinding, haphazard vomit of God's light.
The easiest way to decorate your entire home. Just plug it in and you'll have thousands of colorful stars everywhere.
And massive confessions of saintly devotion.
Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight.
Now Americans are compelled to celebrate the consumption of Jesus the way the kings did back then when he was drawn, decorating our homes the way they did in the 19th century.
This year, they're decking the halls of entire neighborhoods, like this one in Celebration, Florida, 11 houses synced up here to Michael Bublé.
Wrapping lavish presents.
Okay, once more.
Lexus RCF.
In
Ultra white.
with
Premium package. Santa Claus!
And making bloody sacrifices of farm animals. So cute. Yes, Christmas is a time we remember all the good things that Jesus taught us. That family love and affection can be bought. And Americans will forever be in debt up to their eyeballs. Until next year, when it starts all over again. Merry Christmas. I'm Trent Stone, CNT News.
Trent, thank you. Trent Stone reporting there. Jesus Christ. Sponsoring Coca-Cola. I guess that's where the Pope's money's going. And that is about all we have time for this week. A huge thank you to you, the viewer at home. A huge thank you to my Santa sackful of reporters across the planet. We live in a world where the battle for free speech is all but lost. Yes, freedom of speech is often considered your right to say what you want. However, freedom of speech would be better understood if people realised it was the right for others to say things that are opposing your views. So yes, the battle for freedom of speech is all but lost. However, the battle for freedom of thought continues. So what are you going to do about it? Don't have nightmares, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Feeling in our souls we carry, it's about to be legendary. Hey!
Hey, Cammy, CNT have budget for Adderall. President Trump really likes Adderall and want to make sure he's ready for my interview with him.
I'm dialing Cammy. He's our producer for CNT News in Scotland. And apparently, he's decided that he doesn't want to do a Christmas special. And Christmas is a time of giving, and I'm Les Whitlock, and I am always giving good news.